Hi Libra, this is a reading for Libra Sun, Moon and Rising for May 2021. And Libra, keep in mind that this is a general reading, so it might not resonate with all of you. And if it doesn't, feel free to check your other placements here in the channel as well. So every month I open up with the card that represents you and the card that represents your environment. But this month I'm doing things a little bit different. So instead of checking on your environment, we are going to check on your shadow side, or the shadow side of the situation. It's something that is happening behind the scenes, but it's not being seen, it's not being acknowledged, but it's still influencing the situation. Okay, Libra, so let's open up with the card that represents you, the Five of Earth. Okay. And the card that represents the shadow side, the Fortune's Wheel. Okay, so this is so interesting because with you coming out as the Five of Earth, this is the Five of Pentacles. And this is an energy of feeling pessimistic, of feeling left out in the cold, of feeling that things never go your way, that things never work how you expect, that things always turn bad. And the shadow side, what you're not seeing, is the Fortune's Wheel, the Wheel of Fortune. And here, the situation is changing. There's something changing on the background, and your situation is improving rapidly and consistently. But you're not seeing it. You still feel that you are in a state of lack, in a state of not having enough, in whatever it fits in your life. Because maybe for some of you, you might be feeling right now very happy and, what is the word? Just fulfilled, very fulfilled in some areas of your life, but not fulfilled at all in other areas. And I feel like this energy of lack, of not being fulfilled in something, is what is coming in the foreground here with the Five of Earth. So let's say, for example, that right now you are in an amazing relationship, but you are in a job that is not what you want, and you're feeling very sad and just stressed and burnout from that job, or you feel like it doesn't pay you well enough. So there is a concentration in this energy of everything just goes wrong, I can never get the job that I want, I always feel bad in my job, I'm never paid highly enough. But no, actually there is something here that is improving. There's either a new job coming your way, or there is even an improvement in your overall life that is happening. Maybe that's the only part of your life that it's not that good right now, but everything else is great. Your health is great. Your relationship is great. The relationship with your kids, if you have any, is great. But there is that thing that is lacking. And if for those of you that is the opposite, maybe you're very happy at your job, maybe you're being very well paid and you're feeling very stable financially, but you are still not finding a good relationship that fulfills you, and you are focusing on this lack of like, it never works out for me, I can never find someone that I go along with, that I can never find a relationship that is good enough for me. There's still something changing here. And as I said, this can either be because there is someone coming, or the situation is changing and you're about to get what you want, or you're just not seeing that overall your life as a whole has really improved. So it's important here also to be grateful, to have gratitude for what you have, for what is working, because with the Wheel of Fortune here in the shadow side, and as I said, this is happening behind the scenes, this is something that you're not completely acknowledging. I think that the situation is moving to the better very fast. So be careful not to be so deeply connected with the feeling of lack, of not having enough of whatever it is. Okay, so let's see your cards for the month. And we have the Eight of Cups in the reverse. Okay, so not being able to let go of something here. We have the Seven of Wands in the reverse. The Two of Wands in the reverse. Yeah, indeed, there is a big attachment to something here, because we have two cards of being attached to a false sense of security, both the Eight of Cups in the reverse and the Two of Wands in the reverse. We have the Moon in the reverse, so fear of letting go of something because of fear of what? Of fear of the unknown. Sometimes we attach ourselves to something that is bad for us just so we don't face the unknown. Three of Pentacles in the reverse. The Empress, okay. The Star, beautiful. The Six of Cups. And the Ten of Swords in the reverse. Okay. There's definitely something here that needs to let go of, that needs to stay in the past. For some of you, this can be a relationship because we have the Six of Cups here, but it doesn't necessarily need to be. It can be a pattern of yourself that you're struggling to let go of with the Eight of Cups in the reverse, a pattern that gives you a false sense of security. And I can really tell you that it's a false sense of security here because of the remaining cards. This can be just a situation that you think is stable. So for instance, if, for those of you who want to leave your job and get a better job, you might be struggling to let go of it because of this false sense of security. But we'll take a look at it all. Okay, so first, this is so interesting, this combination of the three of them. Okay, I'm gonna talk about them together. Because we have this Eight of Cups in the reverse saying that, yeah, there is this unwillingness to let go of something here. The Eight of Cups is a card of abandoning this Eight Cups, okay? He has 8 cups so far, but he knows that in order to get his 9 cups, he needs to let go of them. And this is what I love about this card, because the next card in the deck is the Nine of Cups, and we see a man that is completely fulfilled with what he has. So sometimes we are afraid of letting go of something, but we don't see that by letting go of it and keep moving forward, we are walking towards something that is way more fulfilling. We are walking towards those 9 cups. So in the reverse here, we have this fear, this unwillingness to do that. And I feel like this fear comes from the fear of taking on the challenge of letting go of it. It's like there are so many challenges and so many things that we would need to face in case we let go of it, that we keep trying to hold on to it for this false sense of security. But it's not secure either, and sometimes we just need to take on those challenges. This man, he's facing all those ones with bravery. You see in his face, I don't know if you can see the expression in his face, but he has the face of someone who is really going to a war. And he's like, I can do it. I can take on it. He's very confident in himself. He knows he can do it. But in the reverse, he doesn't. He doesn't feel confident enough to take on those challenges. And then sometimes the challenges that we might face by letting go of this false sense of security just keeps us stuck. And we can see again this feeling stuck here in the Two of Wands in the reverse. Because what the Two of Wands here tells me, like first, this is a man who he sees the world, he has the world in his hand, but he's still too attached to what he already has. But in the reverse, it takes me back to the Ace of Wands. So when a card is in the reverse, I always look back at the card. Okay, what should I have learned in the previous card? Why is this card in the reverse? So for the Two of Wands to be in the reverse here, I look back at the Ace of Wands, and the Ace of Wands is that taking on a new opportunity, knowing what you want. And that's the thing. If we don't really know what we want, we might attach ourselves to what we have, even though it's not good enough for us, just because we don't have a clear defined idea of what it is that we want. So think about that. And again, that Moon in the reverse. So we leave the Eight of Cups in the reverse. We have the Moon in the reverse right under it. So that fear of the unknown, fear of the unexpected, fear of what is out of our control, because what we don't know, we can't control. So if for some of you, you are struggling with leaving a relationship here, and you're not doing that because you don't know how it will be to be alone, how it will be to be by yourself, and then you're telling yourself like, no, but I'd rather stay in a bad relationship that I already know how it works than go towards the unknown, because it might be worse in there. It might be worse to be by myself. And actually, this is also what I'm seeing, because even though we have the Three of Pentacles here in the reverse, I'm not seeing this as not wanting, because look at this. Usually I don't get a good vibe for the Three of Pentacles, okay, in the reverse, because I see this unwillingness to work with other people. But actually here, I really like his message because we have the star here and it's also right before the Empress. What this Three of Pentacles is telling me is that this is a moment to rely on yourself. This is a card of independence when it's in the reverse as well. It's working on your own. It's not relying on other people. It's not working with other people. It's not being in a team. It's being by yourself. But it's in the middle of your reading. It's right after the moon in the reverse. So there is the fear of being on yourself by yourself. There is the fear of not being able to rely on other people, to being completely self-reliant, to being the Empress. This reading is trying to push you towards the Empress. Being completely independent in all levels, financially, emotionally. Being completely independent, being happy in yourself and not needing anyone else. But there is a reluctance of being that person, of being completely independent. So you're holding on to something here in order not to face that. For fear of the unknown, for fear of being on yourself. Maybe because you don't trust yourself enough. That's the thing. When we are afraid of being on our own, it's because we don't trust ourselves. We don't trust that we can do it. But you can do it because we have the star here. And the star comes right before the moon. And so for me, it's so interesting that it's right under the moon in the reverse, because as I said, I go back to the previous card. So why are you afraid of the unknown? And it's because you haven't found out your inner star yet. You haven't found out the star that is within you, guiding you. Because once you find out what you're really made of, there's nothing you need to be afraid of. You can go through the light of the moon because you have the star within you illuminating the path. And by not acknowledging it, we go back to the same message of nostalgia with the past, not letting things go. But we can change this because the Six of Cups is a very positive card. And the Six of Cups is a card of seeing things through the eyes of a child. And that's the thing. We, as adults, we are so afraid of the unknown, but kids, they never are. Kids are not scared. Kids go to places that adults don't go. They try new places. Like I remember that when I was a kid, I was never afraid of anything. Like there were these big places that you could climb on in amusement parks, and I would just climb to the top, and I was never scared. And nowadays I have such a fear of heights, and I don't like to do that anymore. But kids, they look at everything with these eyes of adventure, of novelty, of exploration. And you can only do that once you trust yourself. Because that's also the thing. Kids, it's not always good, of course. Kids, they haven't experienced life, so they don't actually have the awareness that they can get hurt, that something bad can happen. So they have a high trust in themselves. They trust that they can do it. So they see everything with these eyes of exploration. But this is a quality that you need to bring up to your adult life now. Once you can truly believe in yourself and that you know that you're capable, you can be way more optimistic with things, and you can really let this cycle, whatever you're holding on here, you can really let it come to an end. Because it has come to an end, as I see here. Like whatever you're struggling to let go of, it's due its time. It's due. Because as I said, the wheel is turning, and this is something that you're not seeing. The wheel is turning. The changes are coming fast, and you need to jump on this boat. You really need to jump on this boat. Okay, Libra? So let's get some messages for you from the Oracle decks. Let's see what are the final messages that we have for Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. That's really funny because actually that's the opposite of what we have been talking here about. So we got Ant Spirit, time to collaborate. And actually I want some clarification on this Ant Spirit, because I want to understand what it's trying to tell us, since we have been getting these messages of relying on yourself, trusting on your inner star. Okay, it didn't really answer us, so we got Sully's, bodies of water, spend time near water such as lake, river, the ocean to recharge your batteries. So there's a strong need here to recharge, also to come out of that 5 of earth. But actually when I was shuffling this, I heard in my head and I understood what is the message of this Ant Spirit. I think that it's very important here to connect with people who want to collaborate. And this might also be why you keep getting into situations in which you feel like this, that feed on your patterns, feed on your fears. People or situations that you hold on to, you might be attracting people who do not want to work on a partnership with you. And if they don't want to collaborate, if they don't want to work with you, you need to be able to learn and work by yourself in the meantime. But also to only allow to your life people who want to collaborate with you. So this is a two-way street, do you see? First, you learn how to work with yourself, how to be completely independent. And once you do, you need to filter out the people who don't know how to collaborate. Because that's the thing. Knowing how to be independent is not the same as not knowing how to collaborate. But it's being able to choose when we want to collaborate or not. In what areas of our lives we want to collaborate or not. Or also knowing that even though we want to collaborate, if we are on our own, we can be also alone just fine. So now that you are learning these lessons, it's important to also allow into your life people who think and act the same way. People who are independent and can be self-sufficient, but who also know how to collaborate with you. Also the card of the spend time near water, such as lake, river, ocean, recharge your batteries. So if you haven't been on a vacation for a long time, this can be a very good time for you to just relax, to just go somewhere nice, if you can travel where you live, of course, and take some time for yourself to recharge your batteries. And let's get one last message. Okay, this card just jumped here. Get curious. Remember what I said about the exploration with the 6 of Cups? Instead of trying to keep the status quo, explore new things, be open to change. It's very important here to be open to change. Not everything needs to be your way, the way you're used to, the way that makes you feel safe. Explore things. With the 6 of Cups, be open to new experience, new ways of thinking, new ways of seeing the world, new people, and a new you as well. Okay, Libra, so that's all I have for you, and I hope you enjoyed your reading. And if you liked it, don't forget to like and subscribe down below. When you give a thumbs up to this video, here down below, it really helps the algorithm to show this video to more people and the channel to gain more visibility. So Libra, I'll see you next month. Take care and bye-bye.